Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for tarot scopes. We're going to be doing the tarot scopes for the sign of Pisces. That's Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising for the month of December 2023. So we are in the last month of the year. It has been quite a lot of things happening. I've been saying that it's been a difficult year, but it's also been a fabulous year. So I think I can't really change that now, but I think next year, when we're in the throes of an 8-year, as you sow, so shall you reap year, I'm just going to stay on the positive side because that's what I want to create in my world. And you're much more likely to create a outcome that you want to see if you put your energy in that direction. So Pisces, of course, is the most mystical, magical sign of the zodiac, the least connected to the worldly things, and closest to that sense of oneness, or and many people pray for that. But that is a journey that needs to be about self-responsibility and surrender. So anyway, Saturn is in Pisces now, so I think we're all learning that lesson. It's also time for a spiritual mission with Saturn Pisces, and Saturn's in your first house. In fact, let's take a look at your astrology specifically. Excuse me. Oh, it's right here. Awesome. Okay, so if we look at this chart, we can see Saturn here. Saturn just moved direct. Saturn's in the first house. I lose my little. I lose the little pointer all the time. I don't know what happens to it. Anyway, I lost it again. It's probably something. It's probably me. Okay, so Saturn here now moving forward. Started moving forward on the 4th of November this month. So it's starting to build up some speed. It's been backwards since I think July, and moving backwards. It went all the way up, I think, to 8 degrees of Pisces. So those first 8 degrees of Pisces, say like the 19th, 20th to, oh, now I gotta do math in my head. 8 more days till the 28th. So like between the beginning of Pisces and leap year babies, Saturn actually went over those planets and has gone back over those planets. So whatever was sort of initiated in March had an opportunity to be looked over again. And now whatever was initiated in March is going to start to manifest itself and bring itself into 2024. So for those of you in early Pisces, a lot of the heavy lifting is done. And I know some people who have their Saturn returns in those early degrees of Pisces who are happy to hear that. All right. Of course, Neptune is in Pisces, been there since 2011, and is there till 2026. Give or take. I think 2011, 2012. I can't remember quite. It was a while back. 14 years in a sign. But it does change direction this month. And that also with Saturn and Pisces now moving forward, and your ruler now moving forward, and even at the end of the month, Jupiter, which is the classical ruler of Pisces, moves forward. Things are really gonna start to move forward towards the end of the month, and then you're gonna just kind of go whoosh, like on a giant wave into 2024. The sun, of course, is in Sagittarius as we start the month of December, and it's there till the 21st. Now, Sag is a sign that squares your Pisces planet. So It will bring up crisis just because of the nature of the sign of Sag to the sign of Pisces, and it's a spiritual crisis. You're really going to have to come to and people are going through a spiritual crisis. What you're seeing and what you're seeing is wrong, and you don't understand why people don't see it as like, how can it not be wrong? How can it, where's your moral compass here? What's more important, like life or death, or revenge, or forgiveness? These are all like themes, right? And these are Pisces themes anyway, so it's not surprising with Saturn and Pisces that we would be seeing these things. This whole Saturn Pisces can create a lot of martyrs, and that's going to see the next few decades. So we have to learn to do the healing now. Anyway, Saturn and Sun in Sag. But there's a lot of energy in Sag, of course, as there always is. In December, right, when the sun's there, but we also have Mars there, and Mars is there all month. I'm here all month, as the comedians say, right? I'm here all month. And Mars can be irritated, but it is in your house of your 10th house, which is your house of authority. So becoming an authority in your own life, and some people may have run-ins with authority. And if you're like a peace protester, or one of these people asking for a ceasefire, I mean, the cops are going after these people. So you could be there for all the right reasons too, So you just have to be careful. You just have to be careful. But it also brings a lot of energy to your being seen. So if the kind of things that you do are benefited by you, being seen, this is the time the energy is there for that. And put your best face forward, right? Mercury, the planet of communication, does have a retrograde. It starts the month in Cap here, and is direct until the 13th. 13th, yes, the 13th. We have the new moon in Sag on the 12th. The 12/12 portal is a new moon in Sag. It's at 21 degrees of Sag, and it's going to be in this house for you, in your 10th house. So this is it's an opportunity to sort of put yourself out there. It's the most public place. So as I said, if the stuff you're doing you don't want people to know about, this isn't going to be your month. So just so you know. Mercury retrograde goes back as far as Sag, actually goes into Sag on the 23rd, it re-enters Sagittarius. And then it doesn't go direct until I think the 2nd of, I have it here. Yeah, January 2nd, it goes direct. It's in Pisces. Let's see, Mercury in Capricorn, Mercury retrograde, 13th. Actually, I don't know what degree Mercury goes retro. Can't remember. And then it goes back into Sag, all the way back to 22 degrees. Venus starts the month in Libra. That's your house of shared resources, the 8th house. Kind of a sexy house, really. Venus, all dolled up and in a sexy place. Lingerie, wear some nice lingerie. First 4 days though, that's all. Then you can stop that, because then Venus. So some lacy lingerie till the 4th, and then after the 4th, you might want to put something else, because Venus will be in Scorpio, right? Venus will be in Scorpio, and she'll be moving through your 9th house. So Scorpio likes to have, control in situations. And the 9th house is what you believe, what's, your philosophy of life. So, and the need maybe for change, not so much change for you, but change for the world. Like, hey guys, let's look at this. It's time for us to think about these things in a different way and go in a different direction. Full moon is on the 26th. So we have Neptune moving forward on the 24th. We have Christmas. We have the full moon, beginning of Kwanzaa at 5 degrees of Cancer. So if you have any planets, 5 degrees of Pisces, 5 degrees of Cancer, 5 degrees of Scorpio, right? 5 degrees of any sign. But this is where the full moon is happening. And it's a full moon in Cancer, so it's very, very emotional, very feeling. And then we have the fact that, you know, it's Pisces. Saturn is trine this full moon. So it can be, it's actually kind of a nice energy. It's a nice energy if you've been able to, you know, it's an opportunity for those who are the healers and the feelers to put energy out there so that, you know, heal the world kind of thing. Again, I was talking about heal the world, but really it's just about being your authentic self. That's how we heal the world. The light is within us, and we have, in order to express that light, we have to self-express. So more, and we can self-express from the ego, which we can see a lot of people doing. But then there's that self-expression from where it really counts, which is your higher self, which is your heart, which is where, you know, Leo sits, right? That Leo energy. And it's about being you. And when it's in Pisces, you are a healer. You are a empath. You are a poet. You are a mystic. That's Pisces. The mystics are being called. It's time for our magic, guys. It's time for our magic. Jupiter, a Pisces ruler, a classical Pisces ruler, also goes direct this month, but not till the end of the month. Uranus stays retrograde. It's still in Taurus and still in your third house of your lower mind. So you're still getting these like downloads of information that don't necessarily make sense, but maybe you're starting to make sense. And then in January, Uranus goes direct, and perhaps you can move forward on some of those visions that Uranus has given you. And, you know, Uranus is there for 7 years. So it's not like just this week it's happening. You're getting better and better at maybe seeing things and figuring out what the heck was that, right? Or trusting it, or realizing that that is true. What you saw, what you heard in your mind's eye or you're in your mind's ear is what really happens. And so you get more confident. So you'll be more confident out there, Pisces, in your ability to be you. And people need you now. So we need the poets. We need the songstresses. We need the healers. You know, that's what makes things better. Pluto is direct in your 11th house. It is going to go in Aquarius again in January. Take a short dip back into Capricorn from September, beginning of September to like November, I think 20th, maybe 17th, something like that. And then it's in Aquarius for, I think it's the 17th, Aquarius for 20 years. And we won't see the back of Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn anyway, for another 250 years. So we're done with that. We're done with that. It's just, you know, tidying up, tidying up. And then we'll see as Uranus moves through Aquarius, the old structures really, like, there's going to be a lot more power in the group. And we can see that with unions. We can see that developing with the unions. We can see that developing politically with political action committees, people getting together, realizing that there's power in numbers. And I think we all want the same thing. And I think Uranus and Taurus has helped us see that we want peace, and we want an opportunity to live in peace and, you know, have food and, you know, all the things that we wanted when we were just like living around a campfire thousands and thousands of years ago. Safety, food. Only we have all these other things that we think, you know, we need, but what we really need is we need each other. all those things can enrich the life, but it doesn't make for a rich life. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's take a look at just a couple of things on the right side here that I included. We have Mars making in conjunct to Jupiter first week. Now, all of these things are happening, and if you want to get more specific about what's happening in the month, check out my astrology of the week ahead, because I go over this stuff with the charts and with the Sabian symbols and any other comments that come out of my mouth. So that's where you would get the more information. This is just a general. So what I've highlighted is the planets that are connected to Pisces. But of course, Pisces gets affected by everything. But this just happens to be Jupiter as the classical ruler of Pisces, Mars in conjunct. And this is the Mars in conjunct Jupiter can be somebody who does too much because I don't know, they feel needed that way, and they overextend themselves, and they're trying to be nice, and so you have to watch that, because you're already kind of like that. You give the shirt off the back stuff is probably the first guy who gave another guy the shirt off his back was probably a Pisces. It's like, I don't need a shirt, I'm okay, I have a God. And then the next day he met God because he froze to death. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I don't know if it was a funny joke, but it was a joke. So you got to watch that. Don't overextend yourself too much. We do have the new moon in the second week in Sag, so that's a good time for you to assert yourself in the outer world there. Your work, maybe your job, your career more. It's like the 10th house isn't the work house is the work house. The worst house is the 6th house. The 10th house is sort of like your curricula vitae. It's like your persona. It's like your outer persona that is based on the work that you do. In that 6th house. So and you have that 6th house in Leo. So the 6th house in Leo, super, super creative. I mean, of course, right? You're the poet. You're the poet. Mercury trines Jupiter twice, actually. I missed one. There's one here, Mercury trining Jupiter. Oops, again, I lost my cursor. Go point it with my finger on my computer, but that's not going to help. Right here, Mercury trine Jupiter. Mercury goes retrograde, then Mercury trines Jupiter. So Mercury's in a trine of Jupiter for looks like 2 weeks, which is nice. Even though Mercury's retrograde. So it's a nice energy. It's a nice sort of protective in its way, informative energy. And then we have Neptune, the ruling planet of Pisces, stationing direct on the 24th. And we have a full moon in Cancer. And then Mercury makes the last quarter square to Neptune. This is a crisis in faith. And Mercury last quarter square Neptune can make like thinking logically difficult, but it's okay, because with Pisces, that's not really how you think anyway. You're kind of have an oceanic view of things, and so everybody gets an oceanic view of things, but because you live in the ocean and you're better at it, you can help lead people in the right direction, sort of. And then at the end of the month on the 30th, Jupiter retrogrades. All right. And that will happen in your goes direct after retrograde, happen in your 3rd house. So that 3rd house is the house of communication. So even though Mercury is retrograde, Jupiter starts to move forward in that house and should bring I feel like there's going to be somewhat of an inundation of people wanting to contact you. And you just have to figure out how best to work with that and to organize it. All right, so let's get off of this and we'll get into the card reading, which I know a lot of you just want the card reading, but I think the astrology is cool with it, and I timestamp it. So if you don't want to all the astrology stuff into it, you can always just timestamp it to the reading. All right, now What does Pisces need to be aware of? What does Pisces need to know? What's up for Pisces this month? Whether if you're in the astrology works probably best on the rising sign. Your Pisces risings out there. But it's good to know what degree your rising is. Like I have a friend who's got her Pisces ascendant at like 2958 or some crazy, like the last degree of Pisces. And so she would probably be better off listening to the Aquarius one because most of her first house is in Aquarius. But anyway, I think she's listening. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking to. Anyway, she's in Aquarius. So she'll hear it. She'll get the information one way or the other. Okay. We start with the King of Cups. This is the king of with compassion. He loves his family. He's a loving king. Be a tad lush. Could be somewhat of a lush. But he is and it's it's an energy of protection. It's the king. The king is there for his realm. And there's emotions, there's feelings. So this is a Biden card, and he has a South Node in Pisces. And Saturn has been on his South Node. So we can see he's a strong soul for selecting this. But you start the month feeling emotionally protected, actually. Or maybe you don't, because the challenge is the wheel. And in this deck, the wheel is about circumscribing your space, but it is about change. And so the challenge in a way is, how do I keep my emotional poise through the changes? That's kind of the energy of those first two cards. Oh, okay. So we have the Temperance card. And this is about healing, and it's about balance, and it's about staying centered and poised through the process of spiritual initiation. The Temperance card is an alchemical card. It's when water and fire come together, and water and fire are the two creative forces that create air and earth. They create the other two elements. And so there's an alchemic, there's like a whole, like at the core of who you are, you're having a complete alchemical change in your body, in your being. Yeah. In the past, oh, okay. So we have the Ace of Wands in the past, which means that you started something new. It was a new inspiration. It looks like so far, it looks like it's working from these other cards. Yeah. Love that. Love that card. In the sky. Oh, okay. Moving away from troubled waters. I think things are going to get better. You're going to calmer waters. And you're not just going to calmer waters, but you see these people, this woman here and this man, they have the swords. So the swords are the lessons that they've learned from the struggles. And so you're bringing your experience to the situation. In the immediate future, something is coming to an end. A cycle is done. And and you're going to see the end of it. So this December, you're going to see all kinds of things that no longer serve go away. Okay. How it's seen from the outside. High Priestess. People see you as connected. The truth. The light and the dark. The wisdom of the feminine. This is a beautiful card. Your domestic situation, the Prince of Wands, you might be going on a trip. And if not physically moving, like a physical trip, it could be that you're getting the word out, or you got your show on the road, so to speak. Hopes and fears, saying the wrong thing. Utilize your intuition on things. That's what this card says to do anyway. Your outcome. So there is some struggle, but this Five of Wands is, these guys are kind of play fighting. And the play fighting helps to like build the muscles and build the muscle memory, right? So getting that sort of like combativeness is not necessarily a negative if you don't make it a negative. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. We get the King of Wands. I feel like these kids are being naughty, right? And then the father comes in and say, "Hey, don't hurt each other." Okay, stop hitting your brother. The Four of Cups. This is just see if I can get a major arcana, and the Two of Wands. Okay, so let's see. I guess the choice here, there's creativity, there's issues because there's a choice to be made. Are you going to move in a new direction? Are you going to stay in the same old place? You have the power to decide how you want to live your life, but know that this is an opportunity for you to be like, go beyond maybe what you even imagined you could. And underneath it all is choice. That's exactly what I just said. It's a choice. You have a choice. Do you want to be that healer that's out there, or that artist, or that poet, or that whatever it is you're best at? Or do you want to stay in the shadows and just sort of like say, "Oh, I'm not ready to be out there"? You can do that. It's a choice, but know that that wouldn't be a choice that would best utilize the energy that's out there. Seven of Cups. Yeah, so the choice between illusion and full illumination, the sun. So what these cards are saying, Pisces, is that you can stay, you can be that lush, or you can be that protective, loving spirit. It's your choice. But some things are going to have to end, right? So if you do have any kind of issue with alcohol, food, drugs, whatever, you're going to have to stop doing stuff that is self-defeating. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to pull a oracle card. Oh, I don't think I have them here. I think they're over there. Yep. Okay. I'll be right back. I'll get them. Move this. Okay. I'll be right back. All right. So I have my Starseed Oracle here. And we're going to pull a card for Pisces. Oh, mighty Starseed Oracle. All right. I think it's good. Your life is a canvas. Oh, how Pisces. Okay. I will read this to you. Here we go. I just had to put the line on for myself. Life is a canvas. Okay. Did I start the recording? I'm sorry, guys. I did, didn't I? I'm sorry. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Pisces. Artist manifestation, creative accountability. You're the artist of your life, and your life is a canvas. Take responsibility for your ability to create. Earth is known as a planet of manifestation. Your present moment is based on your past thoughts and beliefs. Your current thoughts determine your future. What kind of life do you want to create for the future? What are you being called to create? Reconnect with your manifesting power and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the vibration that matches them. It's never too late to start, and no experience is required. All you need, oh, sorry, I meant to do that. All you need is an open heart and mind and consistent daily action. If you're not sure what you'd like to create, start instead with the feeling of deep gratitude for all that's good in your life right now. State out loud what you're most thankful for. Look at the good in your life, and one thing will be certain to you. You'll find yourself attracting more and more good experience into your world. This card is inviting you to see your entire life as a canvas, and the picture is completely up to you. Color it with your thoughts and feelings. Create the life that you most long to live. You may also be called to be more creative in your everyday life. What have you been called to create? How can you express yourself more creatively? Now, I have a Pisces moon, and I know what I've wanted to create. And so I'm going to commit this to my fellow Pisces out there. I have done stained glass before, years ago, and I still have all my stained glass stuff. And I've wanted to do a stained glass window of the Tree of Life. And I'm real excited. I actually got a circle cutter because it's impossible to do circles without a circle cutter. So I'll keep you posted on that, but I'm going to make that commitment, and that's a project I think that's going to be my 2024 project. And if I can, and I doubt I can, but maybe somebody can help me, we can do like like the creative process of that, and maybe I can, like, as I'm working on the project, maybe some things will get channeled. So that just came to me. So, and so only the Pisces will know, though. So you're the only ones that have to hold me to it, right? All right, guys, have yourself a lovely month. It's going to be a better month than the last couple of months. It's been very, for the sensitivity that Pisces has, and the ability to walk in compassion. You've been utilizing a lot of compassion for yourself, for the world, mostly for the world. Probably it's time to do it for yourself, and we're moving through this. This is not going to be like this forever. So, but if you enjoy my work, please give me a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm, I guess. If you share my videos, then other people get to see it. I'm not that high up in the algorithm, I think. So unless you kind of really have to share me if you want people to see me. Or you can become a patron. That's always nice. There's a link below for that. If you'd like a reading, it's the end of the year. You're looking for a gift for somebody that you love. That's not going to think you're nuts. No, just kidding. They know you're nuts. Anyway, you could give it as a gift. The gift of self-knowledge is priceless. Although I do have prices. I think they're okay. You could do that for yourself or somebody else. I do hour and a half readings. If it's your first one, I like the hour and a half. If you're giving it as a gift, you could probably get away with an hour, unless they're really interested in this kind of thing. But whatever it is, they'll enjoy it, because I try to do the readings at the level that you'll get the most out of it, and the level that you'll understand. So if you're more technical, I try to come from that perspective. But if you really don't know that much about it, I'll make it a story, the story of you. All right. Well, take care, everyone, and I'll see you in January for the January Taroscope, which is actually the Taroscope of the year. So that's always a good one. And we'll look at some astrology. Until then, from my heart to yours and from my home to yours. Namaste.